Right, hello, welcome back to BJG Reptiles. If you haven't already returned, I'm Brandon, and this is Jaffa, my corn snake, and today we're actually going to be doing a video on corn snakes. Now, Jaffa is a prime example of what a fully grown corn snake looks like. As you can see, she's pretty lengthy. She's probably around 5 foot in length, if I had to estimate. She's a little bit flighty because I haven't had her since she was a baby, so she isn't quite as tame as I'd like her to be, but she is very, very nice. She's never struck or anything. She knows the difference between me and food. Now, this is a sort of care guide, so the first thing you want to know about them is the hotspot and the humidity. So the humidity is very similar to king snakes, as I mentioned before. You want around a 40 to 50, but 60 is okay, percent humidity. And you want a hotspot of around 31 to 33 degrees, which is very similar of that of royal pythons. Now, bloody hell. You see what I mean by she's long. The substrate I use is lignocell. Now, I use lignocell because they are a terrestrial species. You can go bioactive, that's absolutely fine. That works perfectly with them. I just don't have her in a bioactive one yet because I'm not in my new house, I'm still in the flat. But the one thing you do need to make sure of is plenty of hiding spaces. They also have been known to burrow if you give them the opportunity, so a deep layer of substrate if you're using something like lignocell is ideal. A quick note as well, this will be in the middle of the video. They do also need at least a minimum of a 3 foot viv when they're adults. I would recommend a 4 foot by a 2 foot. At the minute mine is in a 3 foot by a 2 foot up there, or a 3 by 1.5, I can't remember exactly. But they do need a 4 foot viv when they're adults. They do get a little bit bigger, like I said. Oh, look how pretty she is. Now, Jaffa is just a normal corn snake, but they do actually come in many, many different colours and patterns. There are some very, very orange ones. I think Fire is one that someone mentioned on one of my videos lately. There's like literally orange. There's also blood red. There's like different pattern morphs like Tessera, stuff like that. Yeah, they do come in a variety of shapes and sizes and colours and patterns. Yeah, she's actually the oldest snake in my collection, and they can grow up to about 6 foot long, especially I believe males are longer than females. Could be wrong, do your own research. Now the oldest actual recorded corn snake, as far as I'm aware from my research, was 32 years old. Now Jaffa, if I'm correct, is around 8. I've had her for a couple months, my friend had her for a couple years, and the person before him had her for a long time before that. We can only assume that minimum she's 8. Now, corn snakes actually eat a diet that mainly consists of rodents. I only feed her frozen thawed mice. Now, some people feed live. I don't agree with that. I would get frozen thawed. So if you're not into feeding snakes actual animals, then this obviously isn't for you, but snakes aren't for you either. They are a very good beginner species. As you can see, she might be a little bit flighty, but she's very easy to handle. She's not running away from me. She's just very, very intrigued on what's going on. One thing that I just realised I forgot to say is, well, they do need a water dish. That is obviously something that you just need. And one thing to keep in mind is actually where they're from in the wild. So they are naturally found in places like fields, forests, openings, basically places that are like plains kind of thing. So lignocell is again a great example of a substrate that can replicate that. You can have fake plants, real plants. Yeah, they're a very, very stunning snake. They're also pretty easy to look after. Another bit of information about the corn snake is actually they are colubrids, and they lay eggs. So Jaffa here has actually laid 2 clutches of eggs in the past, as far as I'm aware. Both were infertile. She laid them on her own without being introduced to a male. It's just something some snakes do. Yeah, she is definitely part of my breeding plans. Obviously, if you're wanting to breed snakes and you're experienced with them, these are pretty easy to breed. There is evidence to suggest that brumating animals, sorry, my cat's just been a moron in the background, that brumating these animals is good, but I don't think you have to brumate them. Again, sorry, my cat's been a moron in the background. Yeah. Now, they do have a bit of a unique defense mechanism. I say unique, a lot of colubrids do this. They excrete, so meaning they poo and urate on you. And they actually shake their tails. So the end of the tail, this little bit here, they will shake it. Now I believe that's to replicate, a lot of people say it's to replicate a rattlesnake. I'm not sure that's correct, because I'm not sure these are found in the same place as some of the rattlesnakes. But you get the idea. It's to scare off predator, make a noise, and just scare them off. Yeah, that's pretty much it about corn snakes. They are relatively simple animals, but as you can see, she is beautiful, and she's, you know, not a huge size. She's big, but not massive. She's just interested in what my phone is right now. But yeah, if you're interested in getting a corn snake, obviously do your own research. Don't just watch this video. Watch other videos, Google your research, go to an experienced reptile keeper, shop, someone that you trust. But if you're looking for a beginner species, these are definitely the snake for you. They are wonderful, wonderful animals. If you're also looking for a beginner species that gets a little bit bigger, like I said, these are a wonderful, wonderful specimen. They can get up to around 6 foot long, but it's not very common. Usually the female, like Jaffa, gets to about 5 foot long. And I've actually seen bigger, plenty bigger. Yeah, they're a very good beginner species, and they come in multiple patterns and multiple colours, so even good for experienced keepers if you're looking for something a little bit bright, a little bit, you know, out there. But yeah, that's all for this video. If you have enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.